Alright, in this video, I want to share something kind of interesting with you. A couple days ago, I was listening to a video from YouTube user Born Again Barbarian, where Brian was talking about something along the lines of the third temple, the Antichrist showing up, and the timing of the rapture. I don't remember the exact video I was listening to and what it was about, and as in the title. But he was talking about uh, the Middle East, Israel, the Dome of the Rock, the setting up of the temple, and in it he mentioned about these prophecies, not biblical prophecies, but Catholic prophecies. Just kind of mentioned a little bit of it about how there would be some monarch from France, a descendant from the monarchy of France, that would reestablish the monarchy and destroy the enemies of the Pope and conquer the East. And I was like, that's kind of interesting because, a lot of people are looking at Emmanuel Macron as some kind of Antichrist figure, right? And I saw this picture that you're looking at right here. I was watching a video about the collapse of the dollar, and this person showed this picture, like the currency is being burnt up, and a depiction of a phoenix rising from it. And I've heard before that the eagle of America, or the eagle at least on the dollar bill, is actually a phoenix that's going to rise up from the ashes once this system is destroyed, because they were looking at America to fulfill the role that it's doing right now, as in when it collapses, the whole world will collapse with it, and the order that's going on right now is going to be destroyed, and a new world order is going to come in, where they're going to try to make it a one world government with a one world economy, one world currency, and a one world religion. And when I saw this, I noticed something a little weird on it. And that was this crown right here. It's crowned. And you recognize what this crown's shaped as? It's shaped as this French flower. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's the symbol for the French monarchy. And I was like, that's interesting. So I was like, you know what? I want to look more into this, see what I could find on it. So I'm going to show you some screenshots I took. Here, while I was looking it up, I saw this. I tried to click on this, but apparently this post has been buried on this page. So I just screenshotted the Google or the DuckDuckGo search of this here. It says, after 3 centuries, a descendant of Francis I of France, will rule Europe like Charlemagne. David Paris, 1622 AD, the great monarch will he of French descent, large forehead, large dark eyes, light brown hair, and an eagle nose. He will crush the enemies of the Pope and will conquer the East. Hauser, 1658. I was like, oh, what? How did I not hear of this before? And as I was looking into it, apparently there is a prophecy of this that ties with the Fatima apparitions, or apparition, where apparently Mary showed up and talked to these children in Fatima, I think it's Spain, and told them of these different things. And it's kind of interesting because the first thing I thought of was like, hey, the time this was written, what happened after this? Well, in the 1700s, Napoleon came around, and he tried to go into the east to take out Russia, but he failed. So it was kind of like, oh, failed prophecy. But what if their Antichrist figure, he shows up coming to conquer and conquering, as Revelation 6 tells us at the first seal, and we see Russia's already standing up and trying to prepare itself for this collapse because it knows it's coming, just like China is, and they're trying to work with the Middle Eastern nations and with South America, and they're trying to fight against this new world order. Not that they're good guys, but they want to be free from it and they want their own thing. And Russia and China and the Middle East are pushing at Israel. So we could see this king come up and push back Russia and protect Israel and confirm the covenant with them, like I was talking in my videos about World War III is almost here. And looking at some more of these quotes here, this one says, our principal doctors agree in announcing to us that towards the end of time, one of the descendants of the kings of France shall reign over all the Roman Empire. Right? The revived Roman Empire here. What's interesting is that the Vatican, the head of the papacy, used to be in France. So history repeating itself here. And that he shall be the greatest of the empire, and that he shall be the greatest of the French monarchs, and the last of his race. That's kind of interesting. So it's almost like it's telling us something there. I think it's in two things that it might be telling us here. There's a lot of influx of immigrants into France. So what if it's saying the last bit of French, which that doesn't seem like that's going to happen, at least anytime soon, maybe decades from now. But what do I know? But it could be the last in his bloodline of the French monarch. Or what if it has something to do with the iron and clay mixing, where it says they will mingle with the seed of men? But there's something else to this. Well, anyway, it says, after having mostly happily governed his kingdom, he will go to Jerusalem and dispose on Mount Olivet his scepter and crown. This shall be the end and conclusion of the Roman and quote-unquote Christian empire, which they really mean Catholic, is what they're really saying here. But this is like what I've been saying, is that I see that Rome and the UN, the Vatican, is going to move its headquarters to Jerusalem. And I didn't know they had these different prophecies that they were saying themselves, that that's what they plan on doing. Right? And see, he's even trying to be like the Antichrist, where he's coming up the Mount of Olivet. That's where Jesus is going to return and split them out in two. This was actually from Rabnus Maurus. I'm not sure what the D856 is. I don't know if that's the name of the book or what, but it's kind of hard to find where this is actually placed. These other comments, I think it gives us an idea. Saint Caesar of Arolis, D543, says, this prince, French monarch, shall extend his dominion over the entire universe. At the same time, there will be a great pontiff who will be most eminent in sanctity and most perfect in every quality. This pontiff shall have with him the great monarch as most virtuous man, who shall be a scion of the holy race of the French kings. This great monarch will assist the Pope in the reformation of the whole earth. You see, this is the Antichrist coming in, and the Roman pontiff is acting as the false prophet. the Holy Roman Empire revived. This one is from Venerable Magdalene Porzat, the 1850. An enormous bird, great monarch. This one caught my eye because what started this whole thing was seeing that picture with the French monarch crown upon it. And then this one says, an enormous bird shall awake as from a sleep, and with its terrible bill and claws shall sever the ox's neck, and shall eagerly devour the intestines of the wicked dragon. He shall drag to the mud the tricolor revolutionary flag of the French, and restore to their dominions the legitimate kings. I'll pause there for a second. And this sounds like the East, right? Ox's neck. I'm just thinking about the UN. I think they use some bull and ox for a symbol there with a woman riding it. And the dragon, I'm thinking China, right, is going to the east. France is going east doing this, and they're resetting up their monarch. So just something to pay attention to. And it says here as it continues, a just and pious man born in Galatia shall be the supreme pontiff in Galatia. If that is talking about where the Galatians, the Church of Galatia was, that was in Asia Minor, or what is today is known as Turkey. And I think it's more towards the west of West Turkey, but that's kind of interesting. Then the whole world shall be united and prosperous. One faith only, one emperor shall reign over the whole earth. It's not talking about Jesus, so who is this guy? Oh, the anti-Jesus, I suppose, right? This one is Venerable Bartholomew Holzhauser, B. 1613. The fifth period of the Church, which began in circa 1520, will end with the arrival of the Holy Pontiff and of the powerful monarch who is called Help from God, because he will restore everything. To restore the Catholic Church, which is not something you want to happen, because then if you don't want to be Catholic, they're going to kill you. Well, first they might torture you to try to get you to become Catholic, and if you resist, then they'll kill you. But anyway, the next quote here is of Nursing Nun of Ballet, 19th century. So not too far ago, like the 1800s. Well, she says, a saint raises his arms to heaven. He allays the wrath of God. He ascends the throne of Peter. At the same time, the great monarch ascends the throne of his ancestors. All is quiet now. Altars are set up again. Religion comes to life again. What I see now is so wonderful that I am unable to express it. So this person is actually looking forward to the New World Order. So I think that was the last one. Oh, no, we got another one here. This is at wrapping up the whole article I was reading. It says here, it was also revealed to blessed Elizabeth that an ecclesiastical crisis would occur in the future and would progress to the point where it would seem that the church had disappeared. And it seems as though what they're going to talk about here is what we see now with the progressive left. You'll see as it goes on, it says a small number of laypersons and clergy would defend it against a large number trying to destroy it by introducing devastating changes. At the peak of the crisis, there would be two popes, or should I say two pontiffs? My bad. So that's going to be interesting. The true pope will be forced to leave Rome and would be murdered in exile, leaving the church without a head. Jesus is the head of the church, so they got things a little messed up there. You don't need any pontiff, but this kind of ties into what I was saying about the papacy moving to Jerusalem. And that could be where, this Antichrist figure is probably going to get assassinated in the temple when he claims to be God. So that might be what it's talking about there, their twisted view of things here. But he goes on to say, shortly after that time, the chastisement, 3 days of darkness, would be sent to eliminate the enemies of God. The minority of mankind who were left would then be led by a pontiff born near Rome, appointed by St. Peter himself, and known as Peter the Roman, which is the phrase given to the last pontiff in the line of the prophecy of St. Malachi, or Malachi. And Malachi had a prophecy that we are right at the end of, according to him, that there's one more pontiff. So this is something to think about. So if you see some weird stuff going on where there's two pontiffs, and France restores the monarchy, and they have a king, definitely time to pay attention. I mean, it's already time to pay attention, but I think you're in the thick of things then. I don't know if the rapture will be before these things actually happen, or we'll start to see this start to come together, like the Roman Empire back together, and then mixing with Israel. I don't know if we'll see them mix back with Israel, but I mean, they already got a strong presence there. So just kind of waiting and seeing. And I think that was the last one, and it is. All right. So with all that being said, thanks for watching. Take care. If you got anything else to say about this, you want to add to it, hit the comments. I'm actually going to do a shorter version on my TikTok channel and try to get people to check this one out. But anyway, that's that. Thanks for watching. Take care.